You know, there's a reason they call Madison Square Garden the Mecca. It's where legends are made. It crowns heroes. But sometimes, just sometimes, in the fire of the playoffs, it creates a villain. And we're going to talk about the story of the newest one, a guy who had his name carved into Garden history right in front of all those New York fans. So think about it for a second. What does it really take to become a villain at MSG? I mean, it's got to be more than just making a couple of baskets, right? Is it about shutting up 20,000 people at once? Or is it something else? Is it about actually loving the booze, feeding on the chance, and using all that negative energy as like rocket fuel? Well, we got the latest answer to that question on April 20th, 2026. And the guy who gave us that answer? None other than Atlanta Hawks guard CJ McCollum. He was stepping onto the biggest stage in basketball for Game 2 of what was already a super tense, super physical playoff series. Okay, but before we get to all the crazy heroics, you really got to understand just how bad things were for the Hawks. They weren't just losing this game. Nope. They were getting absolutely smoked. Just run right out of the gym. It had all the makings of a total blowout. 14. That was the deficit. Down by 14 points. In the third quarter, in the playoffs, at Madison Square Garden. The score was 80-66. I mean, that feels like a mountain you just can't climb. The crowd is going nuts, and for Atlanta, you could almost feel the hope just fading away. And on the other side, the Knicks were just putting on a show. Karl Anthony Towns was absolutely on fire. He dropped most of his points in that third quarter alone. You had Mitchell Robinson inside just having the game of his life, a playoff career high. The Knicks were just bigger, they were more physical, and man, they were feeding off that insane Garden energy. It really truly looked like it was curtains for the Hawks. But then, something just clicked. Something shifted. You could feel it. The whole vibe, the momentum, the entire story of this game. It was all about to be flipped on its head. All because of one guy. Welcome to the fourth quarter. Welcome to the takeover. And here's the thing. The comeback didn't start with a big shot. It didn't start with a fancy play. It started with pure defiance. McCollum gets right in the face of the Knicks' resident pest, Jose Alvarado. They start jawing at each other and boom, offsetting technicals. But what McCollum was really doing was sending a message, not just to the Knicks, but to his own team. He was saying, we are not going anywhere. He decided right then and there to take all that noise, all that hate from the crowd, and just put it on like armor. And if you want to know his mindset, just listen to what he said. He's got the perfect villain mentality. The crowd is screaming at him, chanting, and is he rattled? No way. He's loving it. He basically said, this is fun. This is the playoffs. He sees it as a sign of respect. He gets it. So what did that little confrontation do for the team on the court? How about this? The Hawks, as a team, shot an insane 72% in the fourth quarter. 72! It was like McCollum took all that pressure onto his own shoulders and it just freed everybody else up to hoop. That right there is leadership. Look, this wasn't just him getting hot and throwing up shots. No. This was smart. This was surgical. McCollum had a game plan. He started hunting mismatches. He knew exactly who he wanted to attack, Jalen Brunson. Now, Brunson is an amazing offensive player, but on D, McCollum knew he had the advantage. So over and over again, he'd force the Knicks to switch Brunson onto him. And then he'd just go to work every single time. It sent the entire Knicks defense into a panic. Just a masterclass, really. So all of this whole takeover, it all leads to the final few minutes. The game is hanging by a thread. The Garden is literally shaking. And there wasn't a single person in that building or watching at home who didn't know exactly who was going to take the final shots for Atlanta. Okay, here we go. Under 2 minutes to play, McCollum scores a huge bucket. Then another. Then you get the moment, the one they'll show on replays forever. 34 seconds left. He gets the ball, hits this absolutely cold-blooded step-back J right over OG Anunoby, a lockdown defender, to take the lead. But then the drama. He goes to the free throw line and misses them both. Oh my gosh, he left the door wide open for the Knicks. One last chance for New York. The whole arena is on its feet. The shot goes up, and it's no good. The Hawks hang on. And that's the ball game. Final score, Hawks 107, Knicks 106. An absolutely unbelievable comeback. Atlanta steals one in New York, and just like that, this whole series is tied up at 1-1. Everything has changed. So after a performance like that, right, I mean, an all-timer, you'd think he'd walk into the press conference, puff his chest out, and lean right into that villain role. But what McCollum said after the game was honestly just as interesting as how he played. You just gotta love this. When they asked him about it, he just says, "I'm no villain, I'm a nice guy with 2 kids and a wife." It's so perfect, right? It just completely pops the balloon on that whole villain thing. It's this hilarious human moment that reminds you, yeah, he was an assassin out there for 48 minutes, but he's also just a guy. And then he got a little more serious, and really, he hit the nail on the head. He talked about how when the game is over and everything gets quiet, there's this mutual respect. He gets that it's all part of the show, the theater of it all. And he knows that deep down, those fans are booing because they recognize that he's a great player who just ripped their hearts out. So with that one game, CJ McCollum officially put his name on a very, very short list, the MSG Villains Club. And look who's on it with him: Michael Jordan, Reggie Miller, more recently Trae Young, Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, that is some legendary company to be in. And you have to remember, this is a guy who got traded mid-season. He was looking for a new situation, a new home, a place where he could really leave his mark. And for one incredible night, he found it. He made his home right there in the world's most famous arena, right in the heart of enemy territory. Which kind of leaves you with one final question, doesn't it? Back in Atlanta, CJ McCollum is the absolute hero of the story. But in New York, he's the bad guy who stole a win. So it really makes you think, what's the real difference? Maybe in the playoffs, a villain is really just a hero who happens to be playing in the wrong arena.